Okay, so I'm sitting here with Gary from Is Tropical, and it's your first show on this new tour, right? Yeah, exactly.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, and how come you chose Barcelona?
I think start as you mean to go on, right?
Yeah.
Pick the party city. It's always got a good vibe. We've been a few times recently. Played like Razzmatazz a couple of times.
Right.
And gigs don't usually start there till like 3 in the morning. So
yeah,
we're actually here to do like a proper concert.
Well, let's talk about your new album, which is coming out when?
Well, it's actually a 5-part released album, and the first part was released last month in December. It's 2 tracks per release, and each release is recorded in a different continent, and the 2 tracks are pressed onto clear transparent vinyl with the represented continent on it, and then they layer up to create the globe, so it's like a unifying concept.
Great. Where did that idea come from?
I don't know, we were traveling so much last year, and like we didn't really have enough time to get into a studio, and we were being influenced by all these amazing things and experiences around us that we decided to actually capture those moments as opposed to storing it up, go into a studio and losing the actual vibe of the record. So it was quite like a disjointed way of working, but it's a really nice way of working. It's a new way to try and release music in installments.
Because I've read you've been to Ghana and Mongolia recording.
Yeah, it was amazing. Like we went out to Mongolia last year. We didn't actually record there, but we did like a documentary, and it was experiences like that when you're there to try and recapture that stuff when you come back. Just it doesn't really work. So that's why the concept of the record to record on the move is,
Yeah. All right. And the song "Crawl" from your upcoming album, then. It has like a more mysterious vibe than what you've done previously. Yeah,
it's kind of ever so slightly going back to our first album. Like our first record was a lot more, it was a lot darker and experimental, and used to wear masks, and it was a bit more kind of an underground sort of sound. And then for the second record, we wrote a lot of the songs on acoustic guitars, and like really went songy on it. We had like choruses and verses and stuff. But for this, we just wanted like hypnotic loops. And
so, were you striving for changing the sound a little, or you just wanted
not intentionally? Not intentionally. It was like because that was part of the North American release, and when we were out there, we were hanging around in lots of like tranny clubs and basement parties, and it was quite sweaty and grimy with low ceilings and lots of bass and things like that. So I think subconsciously that sort of stuff influences you. So that's probably where it came from. Lots of late night tranny parties.
I'm really interested in the videos you've done with Megaforce. I think they're great. So is there any like collaboration with them coming up?
We met up with them the other week. They were in London filming like a commercial or something like that. So we went drinking with them, got them really drunk. And every time we do that, we try and bully them into a new thing. We're just like, you're making a video, and they're like, oh, we're really busy, and I'm like, come on, get them a drink. And then like 10 drinks later, they're like, yeah, I'll make a video, man, I'll make a video.
And then you record it, and you're like, you promised.
Yeah. Like, I've got it on writing now, definitely. But that's it. It's kind of, we have like a really good friendship. Every time we go to Paris, we hang out with those guys, and I think like interesting collaborations come about not just through work. It's usually people that you meet, interesting people. Yeah, you just hanging out, and then by chance they are the best filmmakers in the world.
What plans do you have for the future, except for was it a 5-part release?
Yeah, 5-part release. But I don't know, I think we're just gonna tour the record and try and travel to new territories that not many bands venture to. I think that's the most kind of the highest priority for us, is to actually just experience stuff outside the music along with the music, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And what would you say is the most difficult feeling to communicate through music? It's a little bit abstract.
That's a good question though. I'd say, I don't know, I think for us as a band, we're usually quite heavy and quite loud and quite bass driven and drum driven and stuff like that. So for us to try and play a song like On My Way that came out like last month live is going to be trying to capture some kind of ambience or atmosphere in the room. I think for us that's probably the hardest thing for us to do. But we've been practicing a lot, and now Kirsty's joined the band. She's like, her voice communicates more than what me and Simon could communicate before, so already we have like an additional edge, I think. So that's good.
What does she feel about being the only girl in the band? That was one of my questions for her.
I don't know. She's the boss, really.
She's the boss.
She rules us all, quite intently. But in a good way,
In a good way.
She keeps us in check. She's like, what the hell are you doing? Shape up. And I'm like, okay, shit.
So do you have any plans for this night in Barcelona?
We're playing like 5 songs from the new stuff as well. So for us, it's the first time we're going to be playing it out to an audience, and I think it's just interesting to see how it communicates.
Exactly. So I see Simon's there. Do you think we could get him over for one question?
Simon, would you be able to come over for one question in a minute?
Thank you. Yeah, bring your beer.
I'll have to show the beer for the.
Okay.
It's sponsored by someone else in Budweiser.
No, so I just wanted to ask if there's any city that you have a special connection with, and where you're going to tour now.
Well, on the Spanish tour, we had a connection with Murcia because we recorded the part 2 of our album out there. So 2 of those 10 tracks from our new album was recorded in Murcia, which I guess was quite a random.
It's really random.
But they had
in the middle
festival.
of the desert.
Yeah,
basically,
exactly.
But it was cool.
Like they like grow veggies there.
Yeah, they had a festival, SOS 4.8, and then we found a villa on Airbnb in Lemonfield that we knew we wouldn't get disturbed. So we took all of our equipment there and we recorded, recorded 2 of the songs there. And like the owner of the Airbnb came back early.
Yeah, and we had his whole front room. We'd moved everything out. We had a whole studio set up.
So
and
what did he say?
He was
his face when he came back?
Yeah, the kids' bedrooms have been changed into like vocal booths and drum booths and stuff. And he was like, "What are you doing in here?" And we're like, "Recording an album." And he was like, "This is amazing."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, so he was positive.
he came over and stayed at my house like a couple of months later.
And he was like a teacher, like like 50 something, and he ended up like
No, 69, dude.
69.
He looks really good.
But then
the Spanish
he
dude.
dug out a little bit of weed that he had like from 20 years ago. And he offered to like constantly smoke and record.
That's great.
He was a wicked dude.
What would you say is like the most random thing that has happened to you while touring?
Well, we were playing Mongolia, and there was this divide about China and Mongolia, and they kind of hate each other. And there was this Mongolian rapper that raps about killing Chinese people and like wears blue swastikas and stuff. And he come to our gig, and I was just chatting to him, and everybody was like, "Don't talk to him. He's a Nazi. Like he hates foreigners." And we're like, "Nah, he's fine." And then we went to a karaoke bar with him, and he was singing his own
like
songs.
karaoke as well.
Yeah, he was. Oh yeah, we love karaoke.
Yeah, Gary told me.
So yeah, we started singing karaoke with this like neo-Mongolian Nazi.
But by the end of the night, like
So he was like crying. And
he was crying. Yeah, we'd broken down. He was
You got like emotional.
Yeah, he was like, "I'm gonna go to China. Like, I need to change their ways." We're like, "You do, man. You need to be friends and brothers with everyone." And he was like, "It's horrible."
So that was pretty random.
Yeah. And also one night, because we were staying in like a ger, which is like the nomadic houses. Well, basically just like a yurt. And we went out to DJ. This is in Mongolia as well. And we came back, and by the time we came back, one of us, where the bed was on the floor, there was a newborn baby calf covered in blood in the bed, and we were like,
This is my bed.
Yeah, we're like, where were we
like,
to sleep?
I just cuddled up to this like baby
Just like
calf.
put a sleeping bag over it.
No, I was cuddling it. It was wicked.
Yeah, that's pretty random, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's random.
Yeah.
And yeah, speaking of random, you've had like a couple of pretty random instruments on the song Crawl, right? Like a kalinga.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that is, but
It kind of got cut though for like the live thing now. But then one of our new songs has got like a kazoo.
Yeah.
that?
The kazoo's the classic, just one little piece of plastic that you blow into it and it only makes one
Like
note.
really cheap.
It's a really bad instrument.
Yeah.
But I don't advise anyone to buy them.
all right.
But yeah, I think like things like if you limit yourself to a guitar, bass, and drums, then it's hard to.
But when we're traveling around,
You just wanted to try something new.
yeah, when we're traveling around Peru and Ghana and things like that, we're going to like the arts markets and buying little things that are made out of like tobacco tins, like the thumb pianos and things like that, and there's tons of random stuff on it. You got goat's fingers or whatever it was. Was that in
those are
Iceland or
goat's
something?
toes that are around a little bit of fabric that you wear around your arm, and you should
Shake
use
it.
like shake it.
So there's like little bits of percussion in the new songs that are just like
Goat's
random
toes.
goat's feet.
Great.
But no one would ever know. Yes.
Fantastic. Okay, thank you guys. I think we need to round this up.
Thank you.